Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, otherwise known online as Wootini, here with another one of my gay gamer video podcasts. I took last week off. I skipped a week, so I remember in my last episode I mentioned that I had so much to talk about I couldn't even get to talk about NIntendo Labo. So let's do that now. Not that I have a whole lot to say about it. I sort of love the idea of, it's like papercraft with like little cardboard, and you can like put things together, and then you put your Joy-Cons into the thing, and you put the actual, Switch tablet in, and then you make a piano. Or there's another one where you make like robot armor that you then wear, and you use the tablet as a visor, and you can play the game, it's almost like a virtual reality kind of thing. But you make like little, like a dollhouse and whatever, and you make it out of cardboard, and then the Switch brings it to life. And I had honestly forgotten about the AR cameras in the Switch controllers. I was like, oh, right. Because I'm like, how is this working? And it's like, the Switch controllers can tell what's moving, and so that it can tell what keys you're playing on the piano or whatever. It's neat. It's an interesting idea, and I'm assuming since it's made of cardboard, that's keeping the costs down slightly. But it's not for me. It'll be super cool for kids, or adults who are kids at heart, which I am. However, I don't have room for all this crap, I can't. I mean, technically it's cardboard, so once you've built the dollhouse, you could then, I guess, take it back apart and flatten it, and it would be easier to store, and then you can just build it again if you want to play with it again. But that seems like a lot of work, and I just don't see myself getting it. But I think it's really cool, and it's like a lot of Nintendo stuff. It's like, it comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh my god, who thought of that? That's insane, but also kind of brilliant, and super fun. So, good for them, because they're always coming up with weird stuff like this, and I appreciate that about Nintendo. But yeah, I don't have room for more stuff. I'm in fact trying to clear out a lot of stuff, because we are going to be moving in a few weeks. We got a new apartment, so this set is going to change in a few episodes. And I'm going to end up skipping some more weeks, probably. But it's fine, because I don't see myself playing a whole lot of games, because I'm going to be very busy otherwise. The thing that's funny is that this whole experience of my husband wanting to get out of this apartment and trying to find a new apartment, it has been so stressful. I discovered that there is a level of anxiety that Animal Crossing cannot soothe. Because I continue to play Animal Crossing every day, as you know. I'm still writing my Animal Crossing diaries on Medium. But while Animal Crossing is soothing and relaxing, and let me just go water my plants and pick some weeds and dig up fossils and chat with my neighbors, it's super soothing, but I've gotten to the point where I'm so stressed that that doesn't work anymore. But what I did find did work was Skyrim. I know, but it's just funny because Animal Crossing wasn't immersive enough to distract me from the real world. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's soothing and it's nice, but I needed something like, a Skyrim where it's first person and I get completely immersed into this other world and I can leave my real world stress behind. And also, I can do stuff, like I can do like mini quests, like miscellaneous quests, like they're just like, go kill this bandit leader, okay, done. Or go and, do this. And then even if I, and then you feel a sense of accomplishment, which, feels good, even though it's not real. I did this main quest that ended up having like multiple stages to it, where I found the ethereal Ethereum Forge. And I was super disappointed at the end because you can use the Ethereum Forge one time to make one special item. And so I went to make this one special item, and unfortunately you can make either a staff, a shield, or a crown. And I'm like, I am a battle mage, a staff will not help me. I do not use a shield. So I made the crown, which, you know, looks pretty, and it gives you the bonus of being able to have 2 stone bonuses, so you can, you know, have 2 instead of just the 1. But I don't see myself wearing it even though it's pretty, because I get beat on all the time, and I would like to have armor on my head instead of just a pretty crown. But I do appreciate, you know, escaping into Skyrim and, you know, doing things and feeling like I've done something, because, you know, with an apartment full of boxes and trying to pack and purge and clean and everything, it feels like you're not making progress. So, thank you for that, Skyrim. But I have actually played new games, I promise. Because first, I did end up getting the new Professor Layton game, Layton Mystery Stories. Layton's Mystery Stories. Wait. Layton's Mystery Journey. That's it. Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy. It's fine, I guess. Like, it's a Layton game. It's just, you know, his quirky daughter instead of him. She's a little much. She's a little too quirky. It's a little annoying. But, you know, and she has her, like, enthusiastic sidekick who has a crush on her. And she has a talking dog, which I'm assuming by the end of the game will be explained somehow. I don't know. And I hope that it has that crazy Layton explanation. Because there's always, every Layton game has something that looks like magic, but at the end of the game, they're like, actually, it's really this, which is completely insane, but real, and not magic. And it's like, okay. It's fine. It's a little quirky, too quirky maybe, but I'm only on the 3rd case, but it's, like, it's fine, it's fun. The puzzles are okay. Like, some of them are good, but some of them are also, like, just really obvious and easy. And then there's other ones which fall into all Layton games have this, though, where the puzzle is presented to you so awkwardly that it's hard to figure out exactly what answer they're looking for. Either the instructions don't quite make sense, or the visual that they're giving you doesn't work with the instructions. Like, it doesn't. So you end up, like, picking wrong answers because you think they're looking for one thing, but they're actually looking for something else, and you're just like, oh. And you end up wasting all your pick rats and hint coins trying to figure out exactly what this game is looking for, because it's not being quite clear enough. Then again, maybe I'm just a little dense. I don't know. But I've found this in every Layton game. There's a few puzzles here and there that just could have been tweaked a little art-wise or instruction-wise, I feel, to make it a little clearer to us humans who aren't brilliant cartoon detectives. But it's fun, and it's fun to pick up for just a little bit here and there, so it's good on the train. Like, if I finish Animal Crossing on my commute a little early, I can, you know, do a few Layton puzzles and just, you know, have some fun with that. It's also good because it's in 2D for whatever reason. I'm assuming they just didn't want to convert all of the animation, the 2D, you know, the cell animation, the cartoon, into 3D. And that always looked weird anyway. It looked like paper cutouts. Because the actual characters are polygons, so they can that can be 3D, no problem. But it's actually in 2D. But it's good that it's in 2D because my 3DS, my lovely Animal Crossing 3DS that I've had for 4 years, that battery is not holding a charge. I feel like I mentioned this in a previous episode. Like, I've had to turn off Street Pass. The Street Pass Wi-Fi switch is always off. And I sometimes can't play Animal Crossing in 3D. Like, I'll be playing it and I'll get halfway through and the red light will start blinking. And in fact, this past week, it literally blinked and shut off. Because usually it'll blink and I'll just turn the 3D off and it'll go back to blue and be a full battery charge again. But this time I couldn't even save it, and it just went poof, and it just turned off. And I was like, damn it! And then I had to like deal with resetting and everything. So I've taken to playing in 2D now, which sucks, especially for Animal Crossing, because I've gotten so used to the depth of looking down into my town that to see it flat in 3D, flat in just 2D, it just looks wrong. After 4 years, it just looks wrong. But I figure it'll help my battery, so I can actually continue to play my game and not worry about the battery dying. But also, it'll prepare me for ultimately losing the 3DS and moving to the Switch, Animal Crossing, which will be in 2D only. So, whatever. I know somebody, one of my Twitter friends was like, hey, you can change the battery in your 3DS. And I'm just like, I am not performing surgery on my 3DS to change the battery because God knows I'll fuck it up and lose my Animal Crossing town and I'll be really sad. So, it's fine. I play in 2D. It works. The other game that I got, I used some Christmas money and I went to Best Buy and I purchased, I felt like I wanted a new VR game. So I bought The Inpatient, which is a prequel to Until Dawn. It takes place in the asylum, and you are locked up in the asylum that you explored in Until Dawn, except here it's, you know, functioning, but it's the story of how that asylum fell apart and became a ruin and haunted and whatever. And it's really cool. You can actually watch my entire playthrough on this YouTube channel, because I was originally just going to, like, stream some of it, and then maybe pause, and then maybe stream the rest later, but I ended up just playing through the whole thing in one sitting. So it's, like, it's an almost 2-hour video, unfortunately, but, you know, whatever. Some people have actually watched it, which is insane to me, because it's so long. I'm sure they didn't stick around for the whole thing, but, I thought it would be funny because, like with the Resident Evil demo, it would be fun to watch me play it, and listen to me scream like a girl because they're constantly trying to scare you. There are there's like these dream sequences that are very clearly just like walk around and be scared by things jumping out at you, and loud noises, lots of loud noises. But that was a very small portion of the game. The ending of the game, I found to be not actually that scary. It just became more adventure-like. But overall, I still liked it. Even if the controls were a little janky. The one control I did like was you can use the microphone on the headphones to answer voice control prompts. Like when you're asked a question and you're given the choice between two answers, you can actually speak your answer instead of like selecting it and pressing a button. You literally say that, and that's your answer, and it activates it. And that it worked really well, and that really works like with the VR and then speaking. It's like you're actually talking to the characters. It really adds an extra level of immersion that was really cool. I really liked that idea, which helped because the actual controller was super awkward. I kept accidentally like pressing back on the thumbstick and turning around 180 degrees, which was really irritating when I'm just trying to turn a little to the left or a little to the right, and then suddenly I'd be turned around completely, and I'm just like, ah. And also the flashlight towards the end, you know, in the second half of the game, you have a flashlight as you're exploring, but my flashlight kept being like over to the side, so I ended up having to like turn the controller like this so that I could like, you know, aim my flashlight where I wanted to look, which then made it weird to move because I'm like moving to the side and whatever. And it wasn't until like even further into the game, towards the very end, that I realized that pressing down the button, the options button, to like reset the headset view, it also resets the Joy-Con position. So when the when the flashlight would start to veer too far to the right, I could just reset it and it would go straight on. But you can also use the move controllers, but I wanted to use the controller to move around because it's just easier. Like the move controllers, like actually moving around a three-dimensional space with them is kind of crappy because there's no thumbstick or movement, like there's no thumbstick on it to move around, which would have been super helpful. but it would probably be easier to use one to move your flashlight around. So I'm going to try to play it again and use the Move controllers and see how that goes. Because it's like, it's a 2-hour game, it's fine. I'm probably not going to do all 2 hours again. I might just do like an hour at a time. But I do want to play it again because I did not get a very good ending. It just... I made some bad choices. So, like, I don't know that certain dialogue options, picking different dialogue, is going to really help you, change things in the game. But there's, just like with Until Dawn, there's the whole butterfly effect, and it changes how scenes play out. There's one major choice that I made that I'm not going to make again because I think that would help me get a better ending. I don't know what the ideal ending would be, but definitely not the one that I got. But it's very cool, and if you like Until Dawn and you have a PSVR, it's totally worth a play because it's super fun. And it gives you a little background on the asylum. And there's a couple really fun, Easter eggs. And there's a bit at the end where I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. No spoilers, but it's so cool. I wanted another VR game because I haven't played my VR in a while. Because I appreciate that Sony is releasing some VR games for PlayStation Plus for free, but so far they've been like mech combat games or space shooter games, and I'm like, that's not really what I'm into. I'm more into these kinds of things. Like, I want a VR experience where I'm like in a world and I'm walking around and it's not just like shoot, 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 shoot. I don't want the hyperkinetic because controls in VR games are not great. So it needs to be a slower paced game like this, where you're walking around, you're investigating things, you're checking out props and items, and you're talking with characters. That is the kind of VR experience I feel is the best kind of gameplay experience. Until they can figure out the controls, let's keep it simple, stupid. So that's it for this week. I'm gonna go. And I gotta keep cleaning and packing and purging. So I'll see you next time, whenever that might be. No promises. My life's gonna be a little chaotic for a while, but I will see you again. Promise. Bye.